What's up, kings and queens? It's your boy Dan from Daft Previews. The head is freshly shaven. I am ready. We've got a 5-game slate. I've got 4 picks for you. If that sounds interesting, let's go.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to your line from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice and the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.
Now you're probably thinking, why the hell would he reference his head being freshly shaved? Because I had an absolutely terrible day on the NBA yesterday. My bets were awful, and to get a fresh start on all things, I go Derek Fisher on this thing and make myself shine. So looking for a fresh start. The picks that I shared yesterday, I'm pretty sure I split them. We hit on Wembanyama, Anthony Davis was cash, Norm Powell lost because it was a blowout. I can't even remember who else I shared with you, but whoever it was, it likely lost because I think they were the only 2 straight bets I got right yesterday. So tough day in the association, but we've got a new opportunity today. A 5-game slate makes it easier to research. I've spent a lot of time, hours and hours, videos, stats, all this type of stuff, and I'm ready. So I got 4 picks to give for you. Firstly, want to do shout out to PropsMadness, shout out to RotoWire, 2 of my partners. PropsMadness is the best tool you're going to find if you like betting on NBA player props, NFL as well. And RotoWire is where I get my projections from. It's important for me to know lineup news, rotations, minutes, all that type of stuff. There's even great fantasy tools that help. All that's in RotoWire. So go ahead and check these 2 out. Links are in the video description down below. Now, let's talk about this first game, the Bulls versus the Magic. And I've got 2 picks to give to you in this game. It's where I spent the most time doing my research so far. And I'm pretty excited to get this one out. So for my first pick, we're looking at Ayo Dosunmu. I like his over in points. I took him at over 10.5, but it literally just moved to 11.5 after I placed my bet. Not because of me, just coincidental. Good news is 11.5 points is plus money. I still like the over here for Ayo Dosunmu. Now, let me tell you why. And it's not necessarily about his first game. He scored 14 points in the opener against the Detroit Pistons, 6 from 14, 43% from the field, 2 from 5 from 3. Nothing crazy going on there. But what I liked was his volume, his opportunity, and his new role in this offense. So back in seasons past, whenever Ayo Dosunmu saw extra minutes, he typically saw more minutes as a ball handler because Josh Giddey was out, for example. But now Kobe White is out, which leaves a big hole in their offense. And they're playing Josh Giddey alongside Trey Jones in their backcourt. And they're 2 guards who are very pass first. Both Trey Jones and Giddey kind of lay the table for others. And they're looking for more people to get buckets. Obviously, Buzelis is taking a leap. Vucevic does what he normally does. But Ayo Dosunmu has really stepped into this role. And you could see it in that first game. The types of shots that he took, very aggressive plays. There were multiple times where he caught the ball on the inbound and just went all the way up the court, didn't look to pass to anyone, and just drove it straight to the rack. What I really liked is his shot diet. In the past, Ayo Dosunmu was typically a spot-up shooter who might score in transition, right? Now, what we saw in that last game against the Pistons, even in half-court sets, Ayo Dosunmu's taking his man off the dribble and attacking the basket and really cutting straight through. So he's evolved in his game. I don't really like the opportunity here. I also love the matchup here against the Orlando Magic. So the Orlando Magic last year were a great defensive team. They had great perimeter defense. They limited threes, and they didn't allow too many points in the paint either. This year, they've shifted their team, right? To get better offense, they've made some changes in their personnel. They've got Tyus Jones as their point guard, who's not a great defender. They've got Desmond Bane as their shooting guard, who's not a great defender. Both players will help with the Orlando Magic offense, but defensively, I think it's going to set them back. Orlando, in their past game against the Atlanta Hawks ended up coming back to win that game. When you look at the numbers, no one in the Atlanta Hawks necessarily stood out as like really playing well. Like Nickeil Alexander-Walker was one of their top scorers with like 19 points. He was 1 from 10 from 3. He could have had a 25 to 30 had he made some threes. But where Nickeil Alexander-Walker was killing them was in transition and attacking the basket, just in the half court, just beating his man off the dribble or a simple handoff, just really cutting to the basket aggressively, getting a lot of points in the paint. Trae Young was being crafty, but he also scored in very similar ways, getting points in the paint, just driving from the perimeter. That's where they got a lot of points outside of Okongwu and Guy. Like, yeah, I feel like there's a vulnerability here on the Orlando Magic defense, especially when it comes to their backcourt. So Ayo Dosunmu fits the mold of the type of player that I think is going to score very well against this Orlando Magic team, which is why I love his over in points here. He'll score in similar ways, attacking the basket, getting out in transition, and is very capable as a spot-up shooter as well. If he makes 2 3-pointers, I feel like it's a very easy way to cover this 11.5 points. So I'm liking Ayo Dosunmu as my first play to go over 11.5 points. The matchup is perfect. We've also got in this game another play that I like. We're going to the other side, and it's Wendell Carter Jr. I like him over 10.5 points. Now, he's gone under this line in both of his games this season with 9 and 10 points in relatively low volume. What I like about this play is his minutes are secure, 30 and 31 minutes in the 2 games. He's projected to play another 30 minutes in this one, and he's up against the Chicago Bulls. You could look at it as a revenge game. He did play for the Bulls. They traded his ass for Nikola Vucevic a long time ago, but Wendell Carter Jr., when he's played up against the Bulls, has played pretty decently against them. Like, if you look at the numbers for Wendell Carter Jr. playing against his old team, we can see here he's covered this line in 3 out of 5 games, averaged 10 points per game. The main games where he played well are the ones where he saw additional minutes. So when he sees the minutes, he typically plays well against them. That's not the main reason. If you buy into revenge narratives, I think that's a good one to go with, to start off with there for Wendell Carter Jr. But the main reason I like this play is that the Bulls, they just bleed points down low. So if you remember, when Chicago played Detroit, I had a bet on Jalen Duren to score 13.5 points. I was very upset with Jalen Duren because the tickle monster got foul trouble once again, had his minutes cut. Despite the foul trouble, in like 19 minutes or whatever it was, he still managed to score 16 or 15 points. Like, very effective against them. Some in transition, a lot of it in putbacks, cutting to the basket, alley-oops, right? Big man shit. Jalen Duren was getting it done against the Bulls. But what's even a standout, Jalen Duren was in foul trouble, so Isaiah Stewart got extra minutes. Isaiah Stewart finished that game with 20 points, scoring the same way in transition, cutting to the basket, and taking wide open 3-pointers. And I would say Beef Stew, Wendell Carter Jr. on offense, very similar types of players. They're bigs who can make layups. They do a lot of pick and roll sets, but they can also pop out to the 3 for spot up shots. And Wendell Carter Jr., despite not hitting this in the first 2 games of the season, I'm loving the matchup and the opportunity here. So I think the Chicago Bulls, they defend the perimeter very well. Part of the reason why the Bulls get beat up so much down low is Vucevic. That guy's the most helpful motherfucker you're ever going to see. He helps on everybody. He'll help in the post. He'll help on a drive. If there's a pick and roll, Vucevic is going to play high. If there's an off-ball screen action that he's in, he's going to hedge up to prevent outside shots, but he's going to funnel all the points towards the basket, and that's where Wendell Carter comes in. So I like Wendell Carter Jr. to score over 10.5 points. I also want to apologize for the deeply long explanations here. I spent a lot of time doing this research. There's more stuff about it that I can't remember right now, but heavily supported by my amateur research. I like Wendell Carter Jr. to go over his points. So that's 2 plays. We've got 2 more to get through. What were they? Charlotte Hornets versus the Philadelphia 76ers. This should be a very exciting game. Maxi's balling. Joel Embiid looks crippled out there, but we'll see if he bounces back. VJ Edgecombe, absolutely amazing debut from him. Excited to see what he can do. But my bet within this game is actually on Miles Bridges. And this is somebody I bet on a lot over the past few years because it's pretty much a wagon given the types of matchups, right? And I'm liking Miles Bridges over 6.5 rebounds. He had 11 rebounds in the opener from 14 rebound chances. That's got nothing to do with me wanting to bet it, right? This is all about history and the reason why that historical performance exists and whether I believe it could be replicated. Now, looking at Miles Bridges over the past 2.5 seasons, he's placed the Philadelphia 76ers 6 times. He's over this rebound line in 5 of them, averaging 9 rebounds per game. Now, Miles Bridges, very athletic for his position, rebounds very well, but a lot of this comes down to the matchup. For the past 2 years, this Philadelphia offense has been Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid, right? Miles Bridges isn't going to have to defend either of them at any point in this match, in this game. So there's a lot of weak side rebounds to be had. And if you look at the starting lineups for the Philadelphia 76ers, chances are they're running Barlow at the 4, who's pretty much he's a big. So he's going to have a size advantage over Miles Bridges. But what that means is when Miles Bridges on defense, he's going to be in perfect rebound position every single time. to get these boards. Miles Bridges also doesn't rely heavily on offensive rebounds to get them anyway. He very much, his rebound diet is like 90% defensive rebounds. Given the fact that he's not going to defend Maxey, Edgecombe, or Joel Embiid, Miles Bridges is projected to play 33 minutes in this one. He's going to have a whole lot of time on the court. I just can't see how he doesn't get these rebounds. So that's the reason for me to take Miles Bridges. I like him to board up. It is a 7-point spread, I believe. Oh, it's a 5.5-point spread. So more people are betting on Charlotte to keep this one tight. And I think we can see a neutral script here. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Bridges should play the minutes he's allocated, provided he doesn't get into foul trouble. And I think he gobbles up those boards here against Philly. My last play is probably the least exciting play. Everyone's probably going to bet this one, but hey, count me in. Benedict Mathurin over 20.5 points. My man is projected to have a really big season. One of the favorites for most improved player. He had 36 points in the opener against OKC. Yes, that game went into OT, double OT perhaps, but he's lining that game 19.5, finishes with 36 points, 17 free throw attempts, 19 shot attempts, 3 from 8 from deep, a 26% usage rate. I'm surprised with how well he did, but I'm not surprised with his aggressiveness. I'm not surprised with the volume or anything like that, because that's Benedict Mathurin. In the past, when he's seen the opportunities, he's gotten to work. He's projected to play more than 30 minutes. When he plays more than 30 minutes, he tends to be an absolute beast. So not only do I love Benedict Mathurin's role within this Indiana Pacers team, I also love the matchup here. He's up against the Memphis Grizzlies, one of the worst defensive teams to start this season. The Grizzlies just getting beat from pillar to post. They just got beat by the Miami Heat by like 40 points, which absolutely sucked. And they got punished by the starters. They got punished by the bench players from Miami, and they got punished by basic basketball. And one thing I like about Benedict Mathurin's game is it's not overcomplicated. He doesn't over dribble. He doesn't pump fake too many times. He has a very simple but aggressive way of scoring, and provided he does that within this game, maintains his usage rate and composure, 20.5 points should be easy for the Grizzlies in what I expect to be a very fast game. The Pacers are the Pacers. They play quickly. The Memphis Grizzlies have the second highest pace already this season, so they're looking to move the ball up and down the court. I just can't see how Benedict Mathurin doesn't get there. So this might be a very square pick for Benedict Mathurin. It makes so much sense. But I wouldn't be surprised if, in a week or two, we see Benedict Mathurin's lines at 24.5, given his volume and usage that we should expect to see every single night from him, given the lack of scorers for the Indiana Pacers. Like, there's Pascal Siakam, obviously, who could be a consistent scorer. But outside of Pascal Siakam, you've got guys who are going to be inconsistent as hell. So yeah, I'm leaning in here. I'm taking Benedict Mathurin. I think in a few weeks' time, this line's going to be at a point where you think, I don't know if I should take this. 20.5, I think, is still something you might look back on, and we wish we could get more lines like this. So hopefully I'm right. Chances are I'm not, but hey, that's the game that we're in, right? But I like Benedict Mathurin over 20.5 points up against this weak-ass Memphis Grizzlies team. But that's a wrap on today's video, gang. That's all I've got for you. Just the 4 picks. We've got a 5-game slate anyway. We don't want to get too crazy with it. But I do hope you appreciated the video. Smash the like button, subscribe for more. We're dropping content every single day. We're also doing 3 videos a week for the NFL. So be sure to show some love. I want to get this channel up to 30,000 subscribers. I think that'd be awesome. Also, if you're looking for my NBA season pass, the link for that is down below in the video description. That will be closing in, I think, 2 days' time. Once that closes, I won't be offering the NBA season pass at the discounted rate anymore. But if not, all good in the hood. You watching the channel is all the support I need. So I do appreciate you guys. I wish you the absolute best if you're betting on this slate. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to your line from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice on the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.